Hey friends, welcome into Amanda's Favorites. Today, I'm going to show you 5 functional ways that you can pick up any weekly planner that you've got and turn it into an organizational powerhouse. Whether you are practicing self-care, tracking your goals, or just trying to use your time more wisely. If you're not using a vertical weekly planner right now, I bet you have one sitting on your shelf calling out to you. Adding these creative planning methods to your toolbox will make a world of difference. I bet you will find one in this video that will make you want to pick up that 2025 planner and put it to use. For today's purposes, I'm going to be using a vertical hemlock and oak. I have an A5 size and I have a B5 size. I actually planned everything in the A5 size today. I decided it was just a little bit more common of a size. So many people also have, Tomoe River paper planner books, Hobonichi or other type that is an A5 size vertical. And so I went with an A5 size to show you all my examples, but I wanted to show you the difference in the B5 size that Hemlock and Oak offers because it's been so popular this year. In fact, this is the size I'm using for my personal weekly planner this year. So here is the size difference just for you to be able to see. And the big difference is also in the grid size. I share all of that in detail in my Hemlock and Oak review video, which I will link down in the description for you. But both of these, other than that, are exactly the same planner. They are both the vertical weekly minimal planner from Hemlock and Oak. These are just beautifully crafted planners, you guys, that I particularly am loving and using this year myself. I have an ongoing 10% off code with Hemlock and Oak. So if you're making any purchase ever from them, do not forget to use my code. I also have an affiliate link. Thank you so much for using my affiliate links when you purchase. That helps me keep this channel going more than you know. Let's jump right into this beauty now. I can't wait to show you some different ways that you can put that vertical planner to use. I would say that a big chunk of vertical planners do have a timeline. This one is 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. with half-hour line slots. If yours doesn't have a timeline, you can still use these ideas in your vertical planner, so do not worry about that. All right, number 1 is time blocking. I'm going to break up time blocking into 2 different ways though. One is scheduling and one is like the rough time blocking into chunks. So if we are scheduling our day, then I'm going to be putting like exact times on here. From 6 to 7 a.m., I'm going to be at the gym doing weights. FYI, most of the things I'm using in this example video are not from my life right now. Some of them are, but a lot of them are not. So don't get any false ideas from that. If you have a job where you are just at work from 9 to 5, then you might just chunk off your work. Now you might decide to list some of your work tasks in there. That might be a big enough to-do list for you, or that may not work out as your to-do list, but that's just another idea. So this is exactly taking the time that you are doing anything. At dinner time, you might write in your dinner. If there's a baseball game that night, you write in the exact time that it's happening. Maybe you're someone that puts these events into your iCal or Google Cal also. Maybe you're not. Maybe you only put it in your planner. And so you really need to use your weekly layout just for your scheduling. What is happening at what time and where am I going to be at that time? You may or may not put any to-do list items in there. It might just be for your scheduling so that you can see this big overview of the week and where you're supposed to be at what time. So that is the first way. The second way of time blocking is the rough time blocking method, which is really just taking big chunks of time. Like let's say, and color coding really helps in this method too, that this is my work time on videos. And I may or may not write in there exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in that chunk of time, but it might just say, channel work in there. And I just know from that time to that time on those days during the week, that is going to be blocked out for my channel work. When it gets to that day, I will prioritize what I need to do. But just seeing it in my schedule like that, I think is so helpful. Once again, both of these methods under time blocking, whether you do the scheduling method or the big chunks of time, really give you a broad overview of your whole week. You might be only using a daily planner, but you might want this just laid out on your desk or your family command center in the kitchen so everyone can see where everyone's supposed to be at certain times. Or it might just be your personal where you're supposed to be at certain times. So you would chunk out any areas of time and you don't have to be that specific. That's the difference with this method of time blocking. You just know that during this time, this is our family time and dinner time. I know that's where I'm going to be. I might not know what I'm having for dinner or anything else that's going to go on during that time. It doesn't matter. This is to just block out big chunks of time, and you can easily see where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing at that time. Saturdays, you might have a big chunk of time for chores, and then just leave it free and open. So that's idea number 1 for you, time blocking in one of these 2 methods. Idea number 2 is time tracking. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I have never actually done this for like more than one day because I am just not type A personality, you guys. A lot of people think I am, but I am not a type A personality. So I might have tracked my time for like 1 or 2 days at different times just for honestly video experiment purposes, but I've never done it for a week. I think it would be very enlightening, but I've never kept up with it for a week. I'm just not that disciplined. So time tracking is more going back and writing down what were you doing at every single time of the day so that you can go back and kind of analyze your schedule and see what's working, what's not working, where are you wasting time, where's the bulk of your time going. This might be really helpful if you work from home, either full-time or part-time, or if you have a very flexible, ever-changing schedule, like as a stay-at-home mom that might also work part-time, and you're just wondering like, where did your time go that week? So there's 2 kind of different ways to do this time tracking. It's to track like literally in 30-minute segments. What are you doing? So that's like tight time tracking, right? Very rigid. You're going to record every 30 minutes. What are you doing at that time? And then, at the end, you can come back and analyze things. Like I kind of highlighted things with green after I looked over it because I was like, I want to see like, where am I watching a show? Where am I on Instagram just scrolling? And I think I wasted a lot of time so that you can come back and kind of see that for the week. So going through and then using like a highlighter to color code different things, like color code when you were at the gym, color code when you were with your kids, right? When you were on Instagram, and then go and look at a week. I don't know that anyone would be doing this for more than 1 to 2 weeks at a time because I think it would be very tedious, but I'd love to hear down in the comments if you have done this and how you've done it and if it's been helpful for you. Because I see a lot of people in YouTube videos doing this, but I've never actually known anyone in real life who has done this and like told me about, like how it helped them, how it changed them. Did they actually implement change from it? So a loose way to do this is it doesn't have to be every half hour, right? You don't have to come back and write down what you're doing every half hour or every single hour. This can just be like, okay, in the 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock hour, I did this. What was I doing during kind of all my work hours? What was I doing during the evening chunk? Or even just breaking it up by drawing 3 lines, morning, afternoon, evening, and kind of what you did in those chunks of time. That would be a lot looser time tracking. I do think that if you were trying to track how much time you're watching TV or scrolling on Instagram or wanting to see how much time a week am I actually spending with friends, maybe that's why I'm feeling drained, right? How much time am I spending with my spouse or my kids? I do think that you have to be a little bit more tight if you are actually looking for things like that in your time tracking. If you know you're looking for certain things, then that can help you know what type of time tracking you need to do, and then going through with a highlighter after a week and seeing where all your time went and what changes you want to make. All right, so number 2 is time tracking. Okay, number 3 is a fun one, memory keeping / journaling. It's a lot like time tracking, but optimistic and soft and happy. So time tracking is looking back after the fact and recording what actually happened, what you were doing. Well, so is memory keeping and journaling, but it's loosey-goosey and it's fun and it's joyful. Of course, you could be journaling also things that are hard, working through emotions or things in your life that are not easy. And as long as you're not sharing your journal online, I think that is a great way to get a little bit of therapy by writing things out and then looking back on them and reflecting. This is just one way to do it. You might add in a few fun stickers. You might even add in pictures, that you can just print out at home on the portable printers. You might actually write, a long journaling entry every single day, long handout. Yours might be less decorative, not just a few words. You might want to do longhand journaling. These pages leave so much room at the bottom for longhand journaling in here. I have actually done this in a vertical passion planner for a whole year before in their A5 size. I know, it was crazy, you guys. And I wrote a lot every single day. Sometimes I shock myself when I look back on stuff I've done and I'm like, wow, I actually did that for an entire year. I've done a lot of different things over the years in this job with being given different planners. Things that I probably would have never tried before. So if you have an empty planner sitting on your shelf, I do think that memory keeping, journaling is a very fun, stress-free way to use it and is often very therapeutic. Decorate as much as you want or decorate nothing at all. But sometimes it's nice just to write down things that happened. A lot of times by the end of the week, honestly, just looking over my normal weekly planner even, I have forgotten like what happened at the beginning of that week. And I'm like, wow, no wonder that was a hard week. This happened and I had this appointment and that appointment. And looking back over the week then makes me feel a little bit better about I did get a lot done and I had this bonding time with my family. So looking back in memory keeping is how a planner can help with your mental health. I really do truly believe that because it has helped me. I actually have a whole video about how planning has helped my mental health. I'll link that one down in the description for you guys. It's actually one of my favorite videos that I have ever done. Okay, number 4 is the to-do list. I mean, this might be the most basic way to use a vertical planner, but I also feel like it's one of the most functional and helpful ways. I love to see the whole scope of my week out with appointments and to-dos. It really helps my mind wrap around what's going to be going on that week and help me be ready and organized. So a lot of people don't even have a daily planner. They don't need that big of a space every day, and their daily list all fits in their weekly view. And if that's the case, that actually eliminates a lot of rewriting, when daily tasks don't get done and you have to decide where do you migrate them to? Do they go to another day? Do they go back on your weekly list, right? So if you never have to go to daily lists, then you've got it all in that week. And then you can see what's coming and what's most important. It's just a really great overview to have. But here are a couple different ways, ideas to do a to-do list in a vertical planner. So you could just do the basic, just today, and you just write out your to-do list. There is no order, there is no rhyme or reason to it, and that can work for a lot of people. Don't knock it if it's working for you. Another way to do it is divide up your list by work and home, and often like color coding those and using a highlighter can help to visually see that, but just to be able to separate those tasks. Another way is separate by morning, afternoon, evening. A lot of vertical planners already have that separation. They have the 3 different boxes in them, or they have the timeline such as this. And you can just divide up your list. What do you want to get done in the morning? What are you hoping to get done in the afternoon? And what is going to be done in the evening? Another idea is to divide it by appointments and tasks. This is probably my favorite way to do a weekly. I like to see all my appointments or errands, or if someone's coming to my house, like the AC guy, up top, so I know how to organize my day. And then just a task list after that. So dividing it by appointments and tasks. Another way would be to divide it with priorities and then just the rest of your to-dos. So I would have like a top 3 up here. What are the most important things to get done that day? And then to-dos. These are probably my 2 favorite personal ways. And of course, none of them are wrong. None of them are right. Mix it up and try different ways and see which one works best for you. All right, to wrap us up, number 5 is health tracking. I always say this. I get asked so many times, what is the best health and wellness planner? And to me, every single planner that I've ever used for my health and wellness tracking has been a normal weekly planner. I have used all different ones in the past. I have used Moxie Life, Commit 30, Passion Planner, Laurel Denise. I've used an Erin Condren Vertical. There's probably another one I've used and I'm just not thinking of it. I pick up whatever planner is calling to me that year. I'm lucky that I have all these amazing planners on my shelves from Review. And I decide what exactly I'm going to be tracking that year. And so what layout and what planner would work best for me and just what am I in the mood to use that year. Any planner, vertical or horizontal, or even like a Laurel Denise, combining a monthly and a weekly, can make a really great health or wellness tracker. And I actually think it's better than having a health or wellness planner laid out for you because you get to decide what you're tracking and mold the planner to work for you that way. You decide what goes in what space. And also that can change because at different times of year, my health has changed and I've gone through different things. Then I'm tracking different things. So with this planner, I've just shown a couple of different ideas about how to do it, but you could manipulate the page in whichever way works best for you. So if you wanted to actually track, like, let's say your meals and your sleep, you would be writing when you woke up, how much sleep you got, maybe how much deep sleep you got. And then you would be writing your meals, and you might even want to write after the meal, like, how did that meal make you feel? Because it can let you know if certain foods are bothering you or if overeating is making you feel yuck after a meal. So tracking that and just by writing it down really brings it to the forefront of your mind. So what you ate and how you felt after that meal. And then you could add in your walks, your gym time, what time you went to bed, and then maybe kind of summing up the day, looking back. What worked from the day about your wellness? What didn't work? What did you need that day that you didn't get to? Another way is a little bit less detail. Maybe you're not writing down your meals here. Like right now and for a long time, I haven't been writing down my meals. You might just be writing like what you did for weights that day and how that made you feel. Like, was it a great workout? Did you push yourself hard enough? Emotionally, how you're feeling that day. Because to me, that's such a big part of my health, my mental health. And then just like, how did a walk make you feel? Some walks are hard. I mean, I'm always glad I did one, but some walks are really enjoyable. Some are hard. What made it that way? Every day is just so different, and writing a summary there. And then at the end of the week, you could kind of go through and color code and circle things, the things that were working so well, maybe in pink, and the things that aren't working so well, maybe they'll be in blue, and you can look over the week and decide what to prioritize for the next week. Or you might want to color code like in blue, how many times you did weights at the gym. And yoga is another color, or your walks are another color. So you can easily look over the whole week and see how many walks did I take. And that would be really easy to habit track right here, which is a little weekly habit tracker, which I actually sell ones in my store that you could just pop in right there if you didn't want to have to draw out your own. Or a weekly habit tracker would also go great down here in this section if you weren't using it. Another way is just, it's literally going to be the same all the way across all of your columns, which makes it so easy to track and see. So it's going to be like, did you do weights that day? Even though you're not going to probably want to do weights every day, but just knowing like that column, and it might be a highlighted color across. Weights are pink all the way here. Your walk is blue. Your yoga is purple. How were your emotions for the day? That's green. And your gratitude for the day is a red, right? And you just draw a line all the way across. And so you only have to write that once for the whole week, and you're going all the way across. And then you can look across your whole week and see how you were doing. So that wraps us up. So to go back over all the 5 ways that we talked about, number 1 was time blocking. Number 2 was time tracking. Number 3 was memory keeping and journaling. Number 4 was a to-do list and all the different ways you could do that. And health tracking and all the different ways that you could do that. I would love to hear your favorite way to use a weekly planner. Share it down in the comments. We will all get new ideas. Thank you for being here and spending your time with me today. I know there's a lot of places you could be, and I appreciate you being part of my community and showing up here. Take care of yourselves so you can take care of others. Let's all take a deep breath together. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I promise it's all going to be okay. You're doing a great job. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.